That's right. Shalom, Yasharallah, giving all praise and glory to the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. His words to be praised for everything. Hallelujah, to his glorious and holy name. As always, I'm going to start off with Colossians 3:17, and whatsoever you do, in word or deed, do all by Hashem Mashiach Yahushai. Give thanks to the Most High and the Father by Hashem Mashiach Yahushai. He's worthy to be praised for everything. We say hallelujah to the Most High, because he's worthy to be praised. We give him all glory and honor and thank him for seeing another day closer to the kingdom. Understand this. So I want y'all to go to Romans 9:13. I'm going to read just a little. It says, as it is written, Jacob, who was the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, have I loved. Let me read it again. As it is written, Jacob, who was the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, whose name was changed to Israel, have I loved. It's a comma there, so I'm going to stop right there. And that's what we're going to look at. The Most High said he loved us, the Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel. So we say, Jacob have I loved. So we're going to look at that. And we're going to go into this Bible, the word of the Most High, and we're going to look a little bit about who we are as a people and the things that we have seen happen. How we got to look at, hey, the Most High love us. And some more than others. We don't know, but we have to be aware of these things. It tells us in Ecclesiastes 1:9. Ecclesiastes 1:9.
Has joined.
It says, the thing that has been, it is that which shall be. So whatever's in the past is something that's going to be in the future. And that which is done is that which shall be done. So something that was done in the past, he said that's what's going to be done in the future. You see? So we have to realize, and a lot of times we don't consider the fact that certain things are happening over and over again from the past. That's what it's saying. Something that happened in the past is happening in the future, even during our time. He said, and there is no new thing under the sun. See? Nothing new that's under the sun. So when we look back at our past, always remembering the Most High loved Jacob. He said he loved Jacob. He said he loved Jacob. And that's us, we the people. He said he loved us. We the Israelites. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It has been already of old time, which was before us. Now it says, so you know it's not just talking about a chair or something that material that we can visualize in our mind. It says there is no remembrance of former things. Except well, we can go into this Bible and look at and compare to the things that he says there's no new thing under the sun of what's going on now. Neither shall be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. Right? Because you're born on this earth and you got to learn. It's like we learning all over again. Got to start all over and learning. So when you come into earth, you don't know what's going to happen in the future. You're learning. You're continually learning. But remember, the Most High said who he loved. He said he loved Jacob. So let's go back to the beginning. Let's go all the way back to Genesis, the 4th chapter. And we're going to look at this, because he loved us here too. So we know this is dealing with Adam, he knew Eve, and they had Cain and Abel. Right? So Genesis 4:3 says, and in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Most High. Because Cain was a tiller of the ground. And Abel was a keeper of sheep. He watched over the sheep. So in Abel, he also brought of the firstling of his flock, and of the fat thereof. The fat thereof is a sacrifice. So they knew how to sacrifice for the atonement of our sins. As when you go into, I'm not going into that because that's not actually what we're dealing with, but when you go into the Levites, when they were showed how to sacrifice for the atonement of our sins, the fat thereof is the organs. We're not supposed to eat organs and the fat of the animal and so forth. So Abel was in order, bringing a righteous sacrifice before the Most High, because it tells you in Hebrews 9:22, there's no remission of sin without the shedding of blood. So he's bringing a blood sacrifice before the Most High. Cain brought an offering of something he grew from the ground. Verse 4, and Abel, he also brought of the firstling of his flock, and of the fat thereof, which is sacrificed to the Most High. And the Most High had respect unto Abel and to his offering. That's the law. But unto Cain and to his offering, he had no respect. He had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. He like, why you not accepting my offering? When he knew, all he had to do was ask his brother, hey man, give me one of the sheets, man, so I can sacrifice to the Most High. And the Most High said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? Why you got an attitude? And why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, if you bring the righteous sacrifice to me, shall thou not be accepted? Won't I accept your sacrifice too? You got to look at this, because you think this is only the first time that this happened? No. He just come with the attitude, you got to accept what I'm bringing. Knowing that the Most High wants animal sacrifice, not no plants or something that you done grew, vegetables and fruit that you done grew out of the ground. That's why he said, if thou do well, shall not thou be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. See, sin is what? The transgression of the law. 1 John 3:4 defines sin. The transgression of the Most High's laws. Right? And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him in sin. Listen, verse 8. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and slew him. Rose up against his brother and killed him. First murder that's written in this Bible. Cain killed his brother Abel. And the Most High said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. He lied too. Am I my brother's keeper? He's talking to the Most High. I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what hast thou done? Remember, Jacob have I loved. He said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which has opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. Look, we were given everlasting life before Adam and Eve sinned. And now everybody gonna die behind what they did. But what they telling them, hey, Abel's blood is on the ground. And it's crying up to the Most High. Because Cain killed him. His own brother. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. Remember, he was the tiller of the ground. He's taken away his blessing of being able to be a great farmer. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. Say, get away from me. That's why I go to 1 John 4:20. See, it's very important that we adhere to these scriptures and what it's telling us in counsel. 1 John 4:20 says, if a man say, I love the Most High, and hate of his brother, just like you just seen that hate, to the point of killing a brother, and if you have that in your spirit, and the Most High said he loved Jacob, and you're going to see, you better consider. If a man say, I love the Most High and hate of his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love the Most High whom he hath not seen? Because the Most High is invisible power. Otherwise, the closest thing I can tell you to get to the Most High, close your eyes. You see darkness. He dwell in darkness. And no man can approach the Most High for how bright the light is that he have in darkness. Comprehend that. So he's telling you, you can see your brother, but you hate your brother. How can you love the Most High? You can see your brother. How can you love the Most High whom you have not seen? And this commandment have we from him, that he who loveth the Most High, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. And this commandment have we from him, this from the Most High, that he who loveth the Most High love his brother also. Remember, Jacob have I loved. Now he goes on to say, since we in 1 John 4, let's go to 1 John 5:10. He says, he that believeth on the Son of the Most High hath the witness in him. Self. He that believeth not the Most High hath made him a liar, because he believeth not the record that the Most High gave of his Son. See? And this is very important because we can look at it any way we want to, but that record that he gave of his Son is from Genesis all the way through the Bible to Revelations. You see, we get an understanding. So you look at 1 John 3:10. He was an example, and we're going to see. If you're able to sustain yourself to hear what's going to come out of these scriptures, remember, Jacob have I loved, the Most High said. 1 John 3:10 said, hey, in this the children of the Most High are manifest, and the children of the devil. So you got the children of the Most High, and you got the children of the devil. He's talking to us. Whosoever doeth not righteousness is not of the Most High. So you're going to hear the righteousness in this lesson, which we know is keeping up the laws of the Most High, which we're going to learn what he says to do and not to do. We'll have examples of what people are doing and what people are doing in error that's offending the Most High and going to be a judgment upon themselves. You know, I love to tell you, it's Hebrews 10:31 says it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of living power. In this the children of the Most High manifest, and the children of the devil. Whosoever doeth not righteousness, which we know righteousness is keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, Deuteronomy 6:25, excuse me. Whosoever doeth not righteousness is not of the Most High. So let's go there, just in case we have somebody that's believe that we not under the law. Let's see what righteousness is defined in Deuteronomy 26:25. And it shall be our righteousness, this defining righteousness from the New Testament, but it's in the Old Testament, the law. And it shall be our righteousness if, that's condition, we observe to do all these commandments before the Most High, our power, as he hath commanded us. You see, that defines righteousness. So when you see righteousness in the New Testament, you can always go back there and say, that's what it means. You got to keep the commandments of the Most High, keep the laws of the Most High. So now that we know righteousness is keeping the Most High's laws and his commandments, it's saying in 1 John 3:10, and that's doing what he say do. He telling us rules and regulations that we got to follow. So it says in 1 John 3:10, in this the children of the Most High are manifest, and the children of the devil. Whosoever doeth not righteousness is not of the Most High, neither he that loveth not his brother. That's why the Most High said what? Jacob have I loved. I'm going to keep saying it to you till you get tired of hearing it. Listen what he said. For this is a message that we heard from the beginning. And we went to the beginning, went to Genesis, the 4th chapter, that we should love one another. This is what it says. Not as Cain. We done read about what Cain did in killing his brother Abel. Not as Cain, who was of that wicked one. He allowed the devil to come into his mind to be of that wicked one and slew his brother. We just read about it. And wherefore slew he him? Why did he kill him? Why did he murder him? Because his own works were evil. You hear that? His own works were evil. Why were they evil? Because he brought something that he grew out of the ground. But I told you Hebrews 9:22 says there's no remission of sin without the shedding of blood. Most High require a blood sacrifice, point blank. That's why it tell you Abel brought the fat thereof, which are the organs, the heart, the fat that's off the meat, and the liver, heart, the organs of the body. That's a sweet savor to the Most High that we sacrifice to the Most High. And it tells you that when you go into the priesthood. I said I didn't want to go, off of that, but I've done lessons on that to show you that it coincides with the fat thereof. It coincides right with the sacrifice that he told us when we came out of Egypt to learn all over again. But there we had the understanding of the law. That's why it's saying, not as Cain, who was of that wicked one and slew his brother. And wherefore slew he him? Because his own works in offering some fruit or some vegetables that he grew out of the ground were evil, and his brothers righteous. You see? You say, marvel not, my brother, if the world hates you. So don't be concerned if the world hates you. We know that we have passed from death unto life because we love the brethren. As the Most High said in Romans 9:13, as it is written, Jacob have I loved. We have passed from death unto life because we love the brethren. He that loveth not his brother abideth in death. And that death is being cast into the lake of fire to be tormented, where the worms never die and the fires never quenched. Listen, whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer. And ye know that no murderer hath eternal life abiding in him. See, that's why I go to Revelation 22:15. Last book of the Bible, it tells you. Revelation 22:15. Listen, for without the kingdom, people that's not going to the kingdom are dogs. You know, and I've defined dogs for you. In the New English Bible Dictionary, it says dog was used by the Israelites pertaining to the Gentiles because of their profaneness, unholiness, probably a reference to homosexuality. Think about that. In today's time. But without the kingdom are dogs. Look it up for yourself in the New English Bible Dictionary. But without are dogs and sorcerers, come on. They got all the nations, just look, sorcerers. So all you that's hooked on Revelation 18:23, we're going to the last sentence. Listen to what it says. For by thy sorceries, by thy witchcrafts, were all nations deceived. So they got spells. These witches have spells on y'all on a high level, though. You know, we covered that. And whoremongers, going back to Revelation 22:50, whoremongers, those that just jumping around, hitting this and hitting that, no commitment of marriage at all, just doing things. Whoremongers, selling their body for money. Looking at somebody, oh, you look good, okay, let me have it. Let me have you. Whoremongers, that's the time that we in right now. Big time. And murderers, see? Who's a murderer? Not just someone that kills somebody unjustly, but those that hate their brother. Remember, Jacob have I loved. Y'all ain't used to that. Y'all used to go hurry up and go to the next part of that sentence in Romans 9:13. But today you're going to hear, Jacob have I loved. Most High love us. So murderers and idolaters, those that don't believe in the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you are idolater. You ain't going to the kingdom. Better repent and understand. And whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. You know. Like you heard Cain just lied. Didn't he? He said, where's your brother Abel? He said, I don't know. I ain't my brother. Am I my brother's keeper? He just lied. And the devil lied to Eve. Told her you're not gonna surely die. First lie told. Like he said, that Cain allowed the devil to get into him. So he lied. Any of you out there that's liars. That's what he said. Who's without the kingdom and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. There it is. So let's go to Luke, the 8th chapter. Luke, the 8th chapter. And we're going to look at verse 19. Luke, the 8th chapter, verse 19. Then came to him his mother and his brethren, and could not come at him for the press. This is my second side, mother, Mary, and his brothers, and could not come at him for the press. Too many people around him. And it was told him by certain which said, thy mother and thy brother stand without, desiring to see thee. So they told him, hey, your mother and your brethren, they want to talk to you, man. They desire to see you. And he answered and said unto them, this is what he said. My mother and my brethren are these, he pointed to these, which hear the word of the Most High and do it. But y'all honoring Mary like she's more important than Mashiach Yahushua in the Catholic Church and so forth. He pointed to those he was teaching. He said, and he answered and said unto them, my mother and my brethren are these, pointing to them who was teaching, which hear the word of the Most High and do it. That's why you better hear the Most High's word this day and do it. It's very important, y'all. Because we're in the last days, whether you want to accept it or not. And times are speeding up fast. Where it's going to be a lot of people dropping off, man. Every time I look around, I'm giving condolences. Sincere condolences, because there's a lot of death in the earth right now. Go to 1 Peter 3:8. But if we do what's right and what's righteous in the eyes of the Most High, we have an opportunity to live forever and ever and ever. We got next forever and ever and ever and ever. Can nobody stop that? 1 Peter 3:8. Finally, be ye all of one mind. That's why my scripture said in St. John 10:30, I and my Father are one, meaning they're in the same mind. So you're not running from the Most High to run to a Mashiach Yahushua and think you're going to get away from the Most High and deal with him. He said, I follow my, he said, what I see the Father do, that's what I do. What I hear the Father do. Remember, he's the word of the Most High. So words come from what? The Most High have a voice. And once he speaks, then from his voice come words, and Hamashiach is that word of the Most High. Even when he come back, he says, they ain't going to be called the word of the Most High. So it says, 1 Peter 3:8, finally, be ye all of one mind. One mind. Having compassion one of another. That means you have to have humility to have compassion one of another. And not just for your set of Israelites that you're around. Amongst your camp, amongst your congregation, everybody else don't matter. You better understand. And you're going to see if you listen to what this is saying. He said, Jacob have I loved. You can make that call if you want to. But once you hear this, and you see what he says within the perspective of how he's saying it, and you don't take heed, don't let the Most High visit you. Finally, be ye all of one mind, having compassion one of another. Love as brethren. Be pitiful. Be courteous. You hear this? Be pitiful. Be courteous. That takes a humble spirit. Be courteous. Not rendering evil for evil. You did this, okay, you did that. That's evil for evil. You did it, I'm going to get you. Or railing for railing. Back and forth, back and forth. But contrary-wise, blessing. Knowing that ye are thereunto called. That's what you're called into. That ye should inherit a blessing. So if you don't follow this, you're going to inherit a curse from the Most High. Make it mean something different. For he, it didn't say she, it said for he that will love life and see good days, let him refrain his tongue from evil and his lips that they speak no guile, no lies, man. You got to refrain your mouth and what you say from evil. And your lips that you speak no guile, man. Let him eschew evil and do good. Do good. Let him seek peace and ensure it. Ensue it, man. You gotta eschew evil, man. You gotta turn away from evil. You gotta pursue. You know, you gotta do good. You gotta seek peace. You gotta be a peacemaker. And eschew it. What's good? Romans 7:12. Y'all should know that by heart by now. What's good? Romans 7 and 12. We know the Most High is good first and foremost. This is good. Romans 7 and 12. Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy, and just and good. So the laws that the Most High wrote with his fingers, the work of the Most High, is good. The commandments of the Most High is good. You see? So we got to look at following what it says and not letting somebody take you off the course to go to hell with them. Like I said, you can go to hell any way you want to. Just don't try and take me with you. Or those that's really trying to make it to the kingdom with you either. Y'all better think. Verse 12, for the eyes of the Most High are over the righteous. And the righteous are those that's doing the commandments and the laws of the Most High and loving their brother. Loving thy neighbor as thyself. Do y'all realize all the laws based upon loving the Most High with all our heart, mind, soul, and strength, and love thy neighbor as thyself? So how you feel about yourself, that's why I did a self-examination. I got many different lessons that I've done on self-examination. It starts with self. How you feel about yourself and how anybody feel about themselves is how they can treat somebody else with love. Don't say you love somebody and you don't even love yourself. Love thy neighbor as thyself. So if you love yourself, you should be able to love someone else. For the eyes of the Most High are over the righteous. The eyes of the Most High are over the ones that getting this. The ones that's spiritual. Because the Most High is a spirit. And they that worship him, must worship him how? In spirit and in truth. You can't worship him in spirit and in truth if you're going opposite of what he's saying, telling us to do. We ain't in the law. First 5 books of Moses right now. All they had was the law and the prophets as you read in this New Testament. But it still gives you understanding of how we got to be. For the eyes of the Most High are over the righteous. Those that's doing his laws and commandments. And his ears are open unto their prayers. You hear that? The Most High's ears are open to their prayers. Remember, Jacob have I loved. You won't find where the Most High say he loved no one else. Nobody else. But Jacob. He say he loved Jacob. He say he loved Jacob. So he don't love no one else. I know that's kind of like hard for somebody to accept, but find it. Find it. Where the Most High say he loved any other nation besides Jacob, who was the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. That's what we started with, Romans 9:13. For the eyes of the Most High are over the righteous, and his ears are open unto their prayers. But the face of the Most High is against them that do evil. So you got to weigh whether or not it's righteous or it's evil. And who is he that will harm you if you be followers of that which is good? If you followers of that which is good, well, we know is good. You follow the Most High. If you follow the Most High, you're going to do what he said do. He said, 1 John 5:3 says, for this is the love of the Most High that we keep his commandments. The commandments are not grievous. So you're going to do what he said do. They say, but if you suffer for righteousness' sake, for doing what's right, keeping the commandments of the Most High, keeping the laws of the Most High, happy are ye, and be not afraid of their terror, neither be troubled. Hear that? That's why myself say you're going to suffer for his name's sake. Bahashama myself, yo, shall we rolling like, at least I am. Well, I start with Colossians 3:17. That's why I say, hey, but sanctify, clean yourself up, the Most High power in your hearts, in your minds, man. Clean your minds up. That's why my Scripture said in St. John 15:3, now you are clean through the word that I speak unto thee. Clean your minds up with this truth, through the words that you're hearing. And be ready always to give an answer to every man that asks you a reason of the hope that is in you with meekness. Hear that? With humility and fear. Fear the Most High. Fear the Most High, y'all. That's why it's so important. 1 John 2:9. 1 John 2:9. Most High don't give us the spirit of fear. But he said, he told us in Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, what he say? Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments. But you ain't supposed to fear no man, no matter what they bring. You see, one thing that they got to remember, and you got to remember, that what you're going to see in this lesson, if you continue to listen, what they got to contend with. And that's first and foremost the Most High. 1 John 2 and 9. He that said he is in the light and hateth his brother is in darkness even until now. You know, I love this because there's a lot of things that has happened in life, but I feel good that I can go to sleep and I don't have no hatred against my brothers. You know, if you can't sleep because you got this hatred in you against your brother, he that said he is in the light. Okay? You rolling with a Mashiach Yahushua. The light is what else? First and foremost, Proverbs 6:23. You say you doing the commandments of the Most High. Let's see what it is. Proverbs 6:23. This is the light. Proverbs 6 and 23. You say you in the light? For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light. So the law is what the Most High wrote with his finger, the work of the Most High. He gave us moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, and ceremonial laws that we can follow now. He also gave us sacrificial laws. But we know that Mashiach Yahushua was the ultimate sacrifice. After he was sacrificed, crucified, they sacrificed no more. The whole sacrificing temple was written in half. They said, surely this is the Son of the Most High. Scared them to death. See, the people don't scare them. They ain't scared of the Most High. But when he visits you, don't wait till he visits you. It's too late then. He said he's going to mock and laugh at you. You better have a relationship with him before that happens. You see? Say for the commandment that the Most High wrote with his finger, the work of the Most High is a lamp, and the law. You see, the commandment, the law, the same. Y'all trying to switch them up like it's something different. No. For the commandment is a lamp, and you know a lamp brings forth what? Light. And the law is light. And reproofs of instruction are the way of life. So you say you keeping the commandments of the Most High. You keeping the law of the Most High. That's why it's going back to 1 John 2 and 9. He that said he is in the light, you keeping the commandments of the Most High, you keeping the laws of the Most High, and hate of his brother is in darkness even until now. See? And that darkness is ignorance. Not knowing. He that loveth his brother abideth in light. So to love your brother, you abide in the laws and the commandments of the Most High. And there is none occasion of stumbling in him. You see, you got to look at this, because if you don't consider what is being said here, and you have a problem with what's being said, then you are anti-Most High. I know you ain't heard that before, huh? You are anti-Most High. Listen, but he that hateth his brother is in darkness. You hate your brother, you in darkness. And walketh in darkness, and knoweth not whither he goeth. So all you that's following those that's in darkness, you walking in darkness and you don't know where you're going. But the scriptures say where you're going to go. And we just read. You ain't going to the kingdom. That's for sure. Did we just read that in Revelation 22 and 15? Murderers. You hate your brother, you a murderer. But he that hateth his brother is in darkness, and walketh in darkness, and knoweth not whither he goeth. Don't know where he's going, because that darkness have blinded his eyes. And it's sad because, you know, I went over this a lot as far as darkness is concerned. Lessons on darkness, ignorance, and not knowing, and being, you know, a way of not even considering that you're stupid. You think you got it going on, but when you look at what's being said here and you opposite of this, then you in darkness, man. That's why he's saying, but he that hateth his brother is in darkness. He didn't call you a murderer. He done told you ain't going to the kingdom. Now he's telling you in darkness, you ignorant. You not knowing. And walketh in darkness. So wherever you going, you still in darkness wherever you go, because you sit around with hate. That's a spirit. It takes energy to hate your brother. It take a lot of energy. You can't say you humble. You don't have no compassion. You don't have no meekness. You're not doing what the Most High said we're supposed to be doing. Remember, Romans 9:13, as it is written. I know y'all not used to it. Jacob have I loved. See, I ain't used to that. Y'all waiting for the next part. I ain't going there. I'm going about Jacob have I loved. Because it's about us. We're Jacob. This ain't about nobody but us. We the 12 tribes of Israel. But he that hateth his brother is in darkness, ignorance, not knowing, and walketh in darkness, and knoweth not whither he goeth. You don't know where you're going, because that darkness has blinded his eyes. Jacob have I loved. Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter, and we're going to look at verse 17. Ezekiel 3:17. Son of man, Ezekiel, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. The family, who live in a house? Family of Israel. We the 12 tribes. Therefore hear the word at my mouth, and give them warning from me. So it's a warning from the Most High. The me is the Most High. Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, as a watchman of the Most High, and you don't give him warning, nor speaketh to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity. The same man gonna die in his wickedness. But his blood will I require at thine hand. Hear that? That's what I'm telling y'all. Adhere to what this is saying. It's a warning from the Most High. Jacob, you gotta understand. He said, Jacob have I loved. Yet, if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, in hating his brother, he shall die in his iniquity. But thou hast delivered thy soul. See? Delivered yourself from the judgment that you would have in not warning the wicked one of his ways and hating his brother. Again, when a righteous man, a righteous man is keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, does turn from his righteousness, turn from doing what's right in the eyes of the Most High's rules and regulations. Y'all know about that. His law, statutes, and commandments, and commit iniquity, you commit wickedness, and I'll lay a stumbling block before him. Hear that? That's the Most High say, I'm going to lay a stumbling block before you. He shall die. So the Most High put a stumbling block in front of you so you could die. Play around if you want to. That's the Most High. He said, that's the Most High, lay a stumbling block before him. He shall die. The Most High going to put you to death. He's saying, because thou hast not given him warning. He shall die in his sin, transgressing the Most High's laws, and his righteousness which he have done shall not be remembered. Woo! Better hear what he's saying. You done live all these years in the truth, and here it is. You're going to die in your sin, and all the righteousness that you've done in keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High shall not be remembered. But his blood will I require at thine hand. So you gotta point it out. So your blood ain't on my hand or whoever it is that's bringing it out. Nevertheless, if thou warn the righteous man that the righteous sin not, love your brother, and he does not sin, he shall surely live, because he is warned, and you've been warned. Also, thou hast delivered thy soul. So you delivered your soul. This is the orders of the Most High. This is how it works. James, the 5th chapter, verse 19. Don't wait till the Most High visits you to don't take my word for it. You better read these scriptures and what he's saying. He's talking exclusively to all those that want to find some way to justify your wickedness and hating on your brother. James 5 and 19. Brethren, Israelite brothers, if any of you do err from the truth, we know the truth is what? We can sing it together, class. Psalms 119, 142. That righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. So, if one of my brothers do err from keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, and one convert him from his wickedness, from his evil, from sinning, let him know that he was converted to sinner from the error of his way, shall save a soul from death. Most I just said he's going to kill you. But if you convert a sinner from the error of his way, shall save a soul from death, and shall hide a multitude of sins. See? Hide a multitude of sins. Just by letting them know. I want to bring something in too. Go to 1 Corinthians 1 and 10. I'm talking to the leaders. I'm talking to those that know what it is that I'm bringing out. This is not foreign to you. Some of you that's listening, you might, if it's new to you, then it's new to you. But those that are leaders in our nation, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not a leader in our nation, give it to your leader. That's what I'm talking to. Straight up. Because we're in the last days, and we are all we have. 1 Corinthians 1 and 10. Now I beseech you, brethren, by Bahasham Mashiach Yahushua, that ye all speak the same thing, and that there be no divisions among you. I got to bring this up because this is something that, we all coming from the same place, split up here, split up there, splits there, splits here, splits there, splits there. We all come from the same place. And we all know the scripture. Now I beseech you, brethren, by the Bahasham Mashiach Yahushua, that ye all speak the same thing, and that there be no divisions among you, but that ye be perfectly joined together in the same mind and in the same judgment. Okay, we know we got different doctrines and so forth, right? But is that a reason to hate your brother? Let's get some clarity in this. Romans 13 and 17. Because we don't all speak the same thing now, right? But check this out. Romans 16 and 17. Say, now I beseech you again, brethren, Israelites, mark them which cause divisions and offenses, contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them. So you have a right to avoid each other. We have a right to avoid each other. Because some cause divisions and offenses, contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned. They don't love their brother. They hate their brother. So you got a right to avoid them. Remember, Romans 9:13, as it is written, Jacob have I loved. The Most High said he loved Jacob. Now you going to choose who the Most High love and who he don't love? We know in part and prophesy in part, every last one of us. Or you going to take my circumcised place? You going to teach us for 1,000 years of the Most High? Then we going to know the Most High behind you teaching us of the Most High? Or are you going to sit back and realize you taking the place of a Mashiach Yahushua 1,000 years? That he going to reign to show us of the Most High? To be able to meet the Most High and be with the Most High? The Most High going to be all in all forever and ever and ever? You the ones going to bring it? Yes or no? There's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of living power, y'all. But you got a right to avoid them. Mark them which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned. You got so many doctrines out there. And avoid them. Especially them that follow the principles of what we can already read here. For they that are such serve not our master, or Mashiach Yahushua, but their own belly. Some people in this for their own self. For their own belly. And by good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple. Bunch of simple people. They deceive the hearts of the simple. So I said, look, Proverbs 1:22, man, come on. Get me started, man. Proverbs 1:22. How long, ye simple ones, did you allow them to deceive you? How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. That's why he said in verse 7, he said, hey, to fear the Most High, to be afraid, to be scared of the Most High, don't wait till he visit you and he bring forth his wrath. For you to fear him, he said, to fear the Most High is the beginning of knowledge. It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of living power, y'all. Say, won't you fear? Will the Most High rise up? But he rising up just for you? Oh, you think the Most High can't visit you? Ain't none of us can escape the wrath of the Most High. Better hear what he's saying. He say, the fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge, y'all. But fools despise wisdom. Y'all might turn this off. And you're going to be held accountable. Wisdom is proper application of knowledge and instruction. You're being instructed now. What's important? Don't wait till the Most High visit you. So he say, look, verse 25, he say, but ye have said at nothing all my counsel. This is the counsel from the Most High's word. And with none of my reproof. He say, I also will laugh at your calamity. Y'all know I bring this out a lot.